Yo, what's up, guys? It's King Sean here, and it is day 2 of the NFL draft. The draft starts in about 4 hours. Well, day 2 of the draft starts in about 4 hours. And before then, I want to come out with this video talking about some day 2 options for the Washington Commanders, specifically round 2 options, because, well, we don't have a third round pick. Unless we acquire a third round pick, then I'll probably make sure to go over some third round picks as well in today's video. But I'll mostly go over second round picks that could be there at 61 for the Commanders. Before we get into today's video, make sure y'all leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up, turn on notifications, and with that out of the way, let's get straight into today's video. Alright, so as you see on the screen right now, we have the best players available according to ESPN, and we're just going to go scroll through it, go to some positions of need, and talk about which players the Commanders could take at 61 if they are available. Obviously, you have at the top Will Johnson, Mike Green. Those two guys fell out of the first round. Mike Green because of off-the-field concerns, and Will Johnson because of knee issues. I expect those two guys to go pretty early in the second round, so don't think they'll be there at 61. But I know a lot of fans were mad that we didn't take Green or Will Johnson at 29 yesterday. Look, there's a reason why every other team passed up on them, and it's because Will Johnson, the knee issues, and Mike Green, those off-the-field concerns may be very serious, and teams just aren't willing to take a risk there, right? And apparently we were not either. So Mike Green, he's out of the first round. We will see where he goes along with Will Johnson. Nicky Manwari, not too shocked he fell out the first round. I like him a lot, but I wasn't going to be surprised if he fell out of the first, which he did. Donovan Ezaraku, he's still on the board. It would be amazing if he fell to 61, but honestly, I doubt it. But if he's there at 61 some way, somehow, which, again, I really doubt it, I would pounce on him immediately because he is so good. And then other guys here, we're going to go to the edge rushers real quick, but just, reading off some other names. Darius Alexander, D-tackle, Siobhan Revel. We do have a need at corner, so could take him. Travion Henderson, we have a need at running back. We may take him at 61 if he's available, but I doubt he's available at 61, but we'll see. Shedeur Sanders, obviously Shedeur is still available. I really don't know what team's going to take Shedeur. Maybe the Browns, they do have the first pick of the second round, so maybe they take him, but, we'll see where Shedeur does end up. Trey Amos, I'm a fan of him. We're definitely going to talk about him. And you just see all the other guys here. Luther Burden, who I thought was a first-round receiver. I mean, I thought he was supposed to be a lock to go in the first round. And obviously he wasn't and fell out of the first round. So those are just some of the guys that are the best players available. Now let's move on to talking about positions of need remaining for the Washington Commanders. All right, so starting off at edge rusher, and a lot of us wanted to take edge rusher at 29, either Ezaraku or Mike Green or even Nick Scorton. Obviously, that did not happen. We instead took Josh Connolly Jr., which, by the way, I slept on the pick. I like to pick more like Josh Connolly Jr. He's a guy that if he works out at right tackle, man, our O-line would be insanely good, insanely improved from just 2 years ago where we had Sadiq Charles and Charles Leno Jr. on our left side, right? Like, just miles better than what it was 2 years ago. So, Connolly Jr., he has it all. He has the footwork. He has the quickness. He has the athleticism. He has good hand placement. The play strength is the main concern with him. But I feel like that's an easy fix. Just get him in the weight room, get some more strength on him, get him with the conditioning coaches, and his play strength can go up. And hey, man, if he works at our right tackle, our O-line going to be looking good for the next 4 to 5 years for sure, assuming Laremy Tunsil, gets a contract extension from us and he plays up to our expectations. Obviously, did I mention Mike Green? I think I did mention Mike Green. I mentioned Donovan Ezaraku already. Jordan Burch, I'm not a big fan of Burch. I see him more as a late round 3 guy, so I wouldn't be too pleased if we picked him with our 61st pick, but we'll see. JT Tuimoloau, I like JT Tuimoloau a little bit. I think he's my edge 12, and I do have him going around this range or around the range, and we pick in the second round, pick 61, right? So could definitely see him being the pick. He's pretty solid. Femi Oladejo, they absolutely love him. I'm not going to lie. A lot of teams like Femi, and I don't think he's going to be there at 61. I don't. I feel like a team ahead of us will say, you know what? Let's take this kid. He has high upside, and we like him. We like his character. We like his toughness. We like his play on the field. They could really do something with him. I could see a team ahead of us picking him. But if he's there at 61, I'm going to warn y'all. He's going to be the pick. I'm not going to lie. That's the guy who I think is going to be the pick if he's at 61. They love Femi Oladejo. They've met with him several times this offseason, brought him in on a top 30 visit. Adam Peters, Lance Newmark, and Dan Quinn all went to his pro day at UCLA, so it just makes too much sense, man. They love Femi Oladejo, so if he's there at 29, or not 29, sorry, if he's there at 61, don't be surprised if he's the pick. Other guys you have, Nick Scorton, I'm a fan of him. If he's there at 61, I would definitely pick him. Landon Jackson, not too high on him, but we may pick him at 61. Josiah Stewart, Braden Swinson, Prince Emmanuel, those are three dogs right there who I absolutely love all of them. If at least one of them are sitting at 61, I would not be surprised if we decided to take them. Out of those three, Josiah Stewart is probably my favorite guy. Undersized, but he's a dog, man. He sets the edge well, and he knows how to get to the quarterback. So I'm a big fan of Josiah Stewart. Braden Swinson, and Prince Emmanuel are good as well. So those are really all the edge rushers I wanted to go over. So let's move on to other position groups. Let's talk about receiver a little bit because receiver is a bit of a need for us. They want another receiver. Will they be able to add one this draft? I'm not sure, but they would definitely like another receiver in the room. Specifically, a guy with size, and the guy I look at is Trey Harris. Jaden Higgins, I think he goes early, and Trey Harris, he could go earlier than our pick as well. He probably will, to be honest with you. But if he's there at 61, don't be surprised if we take him. We brought him in on a top 30 visit. We've shown a lot of interest in him. He has great size. He knows how to separate. Very solid route runner. Can be a good deep threat, right? So those are things we could really use in our receiver room. So Trey Harris offers all of them. And if he's there at 61, some way, somehow, don't be surprised if he's a pick, man. Because, just wanting to maximize Jaden and surrounding him with as much protection and weapons as possible, I could see them doing that right there, man, because I'm a big fan of Trey Harris, and it seems like they have a lot of interest in Trey Harris as well. Luther Burden, he's not going to be there at 61 more likely than not. Jalen Noel, there's a chance he's there, but I don't think so. Jack Besh, he'll probably be there, but he does have size, right? But I don't think we're going to pick him. Really haven't shown a lot of interest in him this offseason. Jalen Royals, he's a guy who you can get the ball to him, and he's going to do the rest. Same with Kyle Williams. Those are two guys I would not be surprised if we decided to consider at 29. And you see the rest of the receivers right there. So those are the receivers. And then you have the running backs. Obviously, you have Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins at the top. Two guys that I feel like will go before 61. However, if one of them are there at 61, hey, I could see it because John Cobb said he doesn't expect them to take a running back super early, like first or second round. Didn't take one in round one. We could take one at 61, but we'll probably wait until the fourth round to take one, right? But if we decide not to, and if Judkins or Henderson's sitting there, would not be surprised if we took one of them. Caleb Johnson's another guy that we brought in on a top 30 visit and have shown a lot of interest in him. He is a Brian Robinson Jr. replacement, so if we want to bring in a guy who can replace B-Rob after he leaves next year, then Caleb Johnson is probably the running back they are targeting, and if he's there at 61, they may pick him, right? So I'm just trying to consider all options because there are several directions in which the front office can go. And then finally, I want to go over some of the cornerbacks that are still available. I already talked about Will Johnson, Siobhan Revel, Trey Amos. I'm a big fan of him. He is my cornerback 4. Thought he would go in the first round, but he did not. Only 3 cornerbacks. If you don't want to include Travis Hunter, 2 cornerbacks. One in the first round, Jahdae Barron and Maxwell Hairston. Barron to the Broncos and Maxwell Hairston to the Bills. But Trey Amos is a guy I'm interested in. Benjamin Morrison, he's actually a guy that I could see falling to 61. He is coming off of hip surgery, a season-ending hip injury, and he's had 2 hip injuries, right? And that's pretty concerning to a lot of teams. But if he's there at 61, we need a corner. We could really use another outside corner, right? A true boundary corner, because Mikey, he can play on the outside, but he's better in the slot. Jonathan Jones, he can play on the outside, but he's better in the slot. Noah Igbenogany, he can play on the outside, but he's better in the slot. We do not have a true boundary cornerback on our roster besides Marshawn Lattimore. So drafting a guy like Benjamin Morrison, if he's available at 61, would make sense, because then you would have your guy across from Marshawn Lattimore. So I could see Morrison being the pick if all the medicals come out clean. Azareye'h Thomas is another guy that I could see them considering as well. He has pretty good size and is pretty good in zone coverage and off-man coverage. So he may be a guy they consider. Darian Porter, former receiver turned corner. He has tremendous athleticism and speed, but he is raw, and he is 24 years old. So when you're that raw, but you have crazy upside, but you're also 24, might scare some teams away, right? But he is a guy that if he's there at 61, and he probably will be at 61, they may consider taking him as well. So those are all the guys I really wanted to talk about in today's video. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're not already subbed up, and turn on notifications. Will be super interesting what the Commanders do tonight, because if they pick, it'll be their last pick before round 4. So will they trade back from 61 if they have the opportunity, or will they stick and pick at 61? And who will they pick? What position will they pick at? We shall see. So it'll be another fun night to see, what kind of happens. Yesterday, a lot of stuff that happened I did not expect to happen, but that's the draft for you. So expect the unexpected is what I'm saying. And other than that, it's been King Sean, and I'm out. Peace.